Welcome, everybody, to another Rev Talk. I am back. I don't know for how long, but I will be back. And I want to thank Reverend Vanessa for stepping in for me. And then, of course, Reverend Kim for stepping in all by herself because I wasn't able to after surgery. But during this time that I've basically bedridden for a long time, I've had to set boundaries. And that's been one of the things that's been very hard for me, particularly in all that I do within my nucleus of my family. And I really think it's a great topic to bring up right now because I'm struggling with it. I really can't be left alone because if I get up and fall, I'm down. I can't move my whole leg. And my husband's always, well, I'm just going to go pick something up. Or, my mother-in-law falls. Well, I can't even get to her because I'm in a walker. And so boundaries are an interesting subject for me. And I want to see what Reverend Kim has to say because she's been saying this for years that I need to set stronger boundaries, particularly with my children. What do you think?
I am so happy you're back. Yay! I missed you. I was like set adrift in my own craft when I had to do it
You
on my
do
own.
well.
Thank you. You're absolutely right. And yes, it's easy for me to say, oh, you need to set your boundaries. I also recognize that I must set my own boundaries as well with not just family, but work and
Oh, yeah.
just with yourself too. I find there are times when I will do something and I have to set my own boundaries with myself. Like, all right, Kim, no, this is what we're going to do at this point in time. We're going to let that go because I can get very distracted and, that doesn't necessarily work very well work wise. It's also very good to set boundaries with your family to protect yourself. And it's not that they're mean or that they're attacking you or that they don't know any better. They're used to doing this. And of course, like for you and I, we're kind of people pleasers where we don't want to say no. And so we'll just keep taking it on and taking it on and taking it on. And there's a part of me that says the reason why you were having such trouble with your leg is because you were not feeling supported.
Oh,
So when you set boundaries like you need to do, that's for your health and for your mental well-being as well. I've had to say no to my family because they're so well-intentioned to tell me how I should live my life. And setting boundaries doesn't necessarily mean you have to flat out say no. It can also mean that you acknowledge them. You sit there, nod your head. Yes, okay, thank you very much for your input. And then, you do what you're going to do anyway, so that you're not. I think for me, it saves me from feeling bad that I've, flat out was like, no, I'm not doing that. So
I was, I was,
that's where I'm coming from with that. But
you,
go ahead.
you made me think. I just saw something on Facebook and I don't know how to find it. I sent it to my daughter because she's been having leg cramps for the last 4 months every night, and it wakes her up for a couple hours. And she's gone and had her veins checked. They've done the nerves, and they can't figure out what it is. She's done the potassium, she's done all the stuff. And this thing on Facebook stated, you need to let go. There's something you're not, and it's really strange because it depicted the whole left leg
Oh,
from my thigh to the knee to the calf to the foot. And each area was something that needed to be let go. And I tried to find it in Louise Hay's book, but it didn't say that. It did say let go, but it didn't specifically go to the areas that I had surgically altered.
right,
And I'm really curious now because that all fits in with boundaries. I'm doing something instead of letting it go.
right.
And I'm continually doing these things.
Yes.
And it was really funny because when I went to the doctor and agreed to have the surgery, they looked it up and it was a year and a day that I had tried to heal myself. And so now that we're setting boundaries and now I'm seeing this, I might have circumvented a lot of this extension instead of just 2 weeks to 4 weeks to 5 months, it would have maybe I could have lessened it by listening to myself, by setting my boundaries and learning to say no when you mean no instead of giving in. And I think 90% of us give in, particularly to family members, because we feel obligated to them.
Right. Yes.
And it's hard. It really is. And I'm trying to read a lot and meditate a lot. And on, I guess it was 11/11, and the veil was so thin. My daughter had just given me a crystal thing to help you let go of your past lives that you're having trouble with. And oh my God, I saw everybody in my family. And I'm on my bed. I got my leg propped up over my nose, and I can't jump up. I can't get out. And my mother was a 2 pack a day cigarette smoker. And I thought the house was on fire. I'm trying to wake Ray up to go check the stove in case Zella went to the stove. And then all of a sudden, I just took a deep breath. It was like someone sat on my chest. And I realized they're coming to help so I can release them and let go. And I called Casey. I said, I'm not wearing this again. I'm not going through another night. I said, I'll set it next to my desk, but I'm not going to wear it. And it actually helped me to be able to look at the boundaries I'm trying to set instead of analyzing or should I or shouldn't I, you go within and you either feel the calm or you don't. And
Right.
that's your answer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just going to say, you mentioned, thinking to yourself, well, I could have lessened this, or I could have, that's in the past now. Okay. So,
Yes.
so we're used to it. I do that as well. I bring things up. Oh, if only I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I end up shooting all over myself.
Yeah.
And instead of, okay, where am I at right now? What can I learn from this and what can I move on? Bless you.
Thank you.
So again, I guess one of our tenets is um, I listen to the spiritual with messages within my physical body. We say it, and I know, but I don't hear it, or I don't pay attention to it as I
We
should.
don't practice it wholly.
I'm getting better at that, although, and it's a very good reminder to, yes, set a boundary and feel into that. And to remember that, okay, there is going to be that old patterning that makes you feel bad because you're saying no to a family member. And before you say anything, stop yourself and feel into that and say, what would it feel like if I set this boundary? How would that feel to me? And like you said, if you feel the calm, if you feel good about it, then set it because it
That,
is your life.
yeah.
You know,
And I realized too, with all this downtime, you can stop and appreciate what you have. And then you can also appreciate how you can downsize. Because like you said, over the years, you collect so much and so many memories where you're tied to those things. You're not free to be. And I've noticed that quite a bit. And it's been a good time for me spiritually. Um,
well, this was meant to happen exactly the way it did, so that you have this
yeah.
time to being able to reevaluate. And of course, I'm going to bring it up. We're heading into the holiday season, people, and Rev Talk is, what are we, 3 years old now?
Yes, we're on our third year.
We're on our third year, so yay for that. So again, we're heading into the holiday season. It gets to be kind of dicey for people a lot. I know this is a tough time of year for me, and for a lot of people. So we need to be, kind of aware of that and to cut ourselves some slack and
Take time for us.
everybody else
That's what.
going through this as well.
Mhm.
So to remind ourselves that, yeah, we're all in this together, and you care for yourself. So you set those boundaries so that you're giving that person as well, you're giving them permission to set their own boundaries as well. You're letting them know it's okay because you're setting the example. You set your boundaries. It gives them permission, like, oh, well, if she can do that, so can I.
I
And
think well, we've noticed it in all the messages from the angels. It is take time for yourself.
right.
Slow down, smell the roses, take time for yourself. And that's why. And I think that's what we're all going to do.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. So, what do you think, my dear?
I think we're on a boundary setting.
Okay, on to the journey of setting boundaries. Awesome.
Let you know next week how it turns out.
Exactly. So with that, my friends, we want to thank you for joining us on another Rev Talk and to welcome Reverend Beverly back. Yay. So we want to tell everybody to remember to be gentle with yourself and to be kind to yourself and to remember that you are unique in all the universe. There will never be another just like you in all of space and time. You are powerful, you are cherished, you are loved. And without you, the song of the universe would be incomplete. Until next time, my friends, be well.